listening to WQDY 92.7 FM and WALZ 95.3 FM, serving up all your classic hits for Washington County and down East Maine, along with local news and weather. Speaking of which, if you're traveling home from work, it's not going to get any better soon.
The lifestyle around here, most people are burnt out and wrecked, literally, physically and mentally, close to the age of 30 around here. People have been working their butts off just to get their school closed since they were a young kid.
There's nothing here other than work. You either stick with a job that you got or you don't got much at all.
That's pretty much life in down East Maine. You do what you have to do and you make it one day at a time. Losing our home was not an easy thing to go through. We moved in with my sister and we've been there about a week and a half now and it's chaotic.
It's rough because we are still looking for another place because we can't stay here. It's too hard with two families together. This is her home with her children and they need that stable environment. As you can see, it's pretty tight quarters. Over here is our living room. We've got boxes of our stuff piled in a corner behind a couch. All right, as you come down the hall, there's a small bedroom here. This would be what would normally be Gavin's room. So for now, this is kind of our storage room for a lot of our stuff that we use on a daily basis. To now live out of boxes and just don't know where anything is. It's hard to even find clothes to get dressed to go to work in the morning. And then, of course, in our lovely bathroom, as you can see, there's no hot water in our shower in here. And the water really isn't that great to shower in or to drink or anything like that. So we go elsewhere to shower. We usually go a couple miles down the road to my father-in-law's or just so that I can get ready for work or, you know, Gabriel stays clean during the week, stuff like that. Nate and I kind of have claimed this bed with Gabriel. Usually Gabriel and I sleep in this bed and Nate sleeps on the couch, or usually her kids are here and her and I cuddle, or, you know, we take turns on the couch, us adults or whatever, so that the kids get a good night's sleep. That's the most important part. To have to share one bedroom, put two beds in here, and it's so cramped and so overwhelming. Sometimes you don't even get a good night's sleep because one kid is snoring louder than the other one. This is like the second time we've had this issue with housing. Almost makes you want to cry every day. But you push yourself. You push yourself beyond that point. You got to do what you need to do for your children. And you just get up in the morning and you make breakfast and send the two that go to school, and you clean your house and get ready to go to work and come home and cook dinner and put the kids to bed and go to bed yourself and get up and do it again the next day, hoping it's gonna wake up okay. You know, what else can you do? It's hard to not wonder, well, what if he's hating me because of this? Or hard to think of, why do I want to do this to my child? But it's not, I'm not wanting to do it to my child, you know. Something that we have to do is what life has brought us.
I was raped when I was 10. And then I was raped on Christmas Eve, and I told my mom, and she just never did anything about it. Like, she always just ignored it. And the reason I found out later was that she was giving me to men for her to profit herself, like money, or basically just she'd get something out of it. I never had anybody to, you know, stick up for me because my mom didn't care. I didn't have no childhood. I had to grow up fast. So I started using cocaine And my friends, they all use needles. I never used needles before. And I started using needles, and everything from there just went downhill. You feel so good that you've been clean that when you do fail, it crushes you. That you just say, you know, hey, look, I've messed up. I might as well keep on going. You know, you don't think about getting back up and starting fresh again. Noah's my son. He's been in the hospital for 2 months, and we've been going through the methadone detox. You feel bad and feel responsible for him going through the withdrawals, and just seeing him, kind of like be irritated and kind of like grab his face and, his arms, like he's trying to tear his skin off. It's very, very hard to watch that and just know that you put him through that, it's hard. And it's exhausting just sitting here and not being able to do anything and just waiting on how he is, just wondering if he's doing okay and if he's feeling the withdrawals. And one thing I worry about is just having him grow up and have a high personality to addiction, more than somebody that's just born without methadone. I worry that it'll be more of a risk for him to be addicted to anything. I ended up even giving, Madison up to her grandparents because I knew I couldn't handle her and I wasn't able to be a good mom then.
It's not easy to be a mother. It's even harder to be a single mom. And it's even harder for me to deal with being a single mom because that was not in my plans. And that's not what I expected or had ever thought would fall into my lap at this point in my life. There's so many nights when I come home, I walk through the door and it's 5 o'clock and I just had the longest day ever at work, and I drop a diaper bag on the floor and the phone's ringing and the dog's barking and the kids screaming, and all I really want to do is run away and hide. Before I was pregnant, if I had extra money, we went out for the weekend and that was fun, or, I went to the mall and spent $100 at Abercrombie and that was cool. But as soon as you find out you're pregnant, that mind frame shifts completely. No, ready? It's hard. I struggle with being a single mom every single day. I feel like I have to make up for the missing part of his life. I'm one parent, but I have to do the job of two parents and give the love of two parents and the support of two parents. I always stereotyped young single mothers before I became one. In Washington County, it's particularly hard because we really are at the end of the earth, and it's really tough for people not to fall into a pattern and a lifestyle that you're accustomed to and that's expected of you. This is the way it was for your grandparents, your parents, and now it's really hard to break that. I would never consider myself a slut because I'm a single mom. Absolutely not. I never wanted anyone to look at me and to think that about me.
I was born addicted to heroin and methadone. By 8th grade, I had lost my mom to HIV and AIDS. And we traveled all over the place, and we were homeless a lot, and I was taken away from the state a bunch of times. Right after my freshman year in high school, I had a goal of experimenting and trying every drug there was to try. And I was on kind of a little bit of a death wish.
Yay.
What?
Yay.
What? You're so silly. I like to just keep life simple. Being patient enough to allow him to be a kid and not losing your temper. He doesn't have a pacifier, he doesn't have a blanket, he just has a mom, He's not connected to anything but me, you know, there isn't any special thing that we ever need to bring except for me.
Every day I'm scared that I'm not going to be able to have enough. Sometimes we don't have enough.
We've had to have some months where we can only pay part of the money for rent and then have to catch up.
Cars break, bills come up, emergencies happen. That money we save goes.
All right, here we go. He's got 3 little stitches in through his toenail to keep the tip of his toe on. He slammed a table leaf down and it hit the tip of his toe, and we had to go to the hospital and get him stitches. We're almost done. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never leave me. You shouldn't stress out like that. Everything will be all right. Yeah. You don't need to get that mad.
You know, break him in slowly to get in, you know, the outside world, and, you know, because I don't want to have it too much on him to be, like, overwhelming on him, because, you know, he's never been outside, so I want to take things slow. You're not going to tell me no more? Tell me another one. Yeah. Yeah. It was really rough, but he's a tough little bugger, and he made it through. It was very emotional for me, and I didn't really know how to take it at first, you know, but I just kept telling myself, you know, we're going to get through it, and this is the best I could have done. It's better than being on straight drugs, and, you know, we'll make it through it. And we did.
He needs to have a good eye kept on him, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, everything he's been through, you want to make sure he has the best outcome.
Make sure everything's
yeah,
all right.
You're my hero. What you've done to get your life back together, and even though it had an impact on him,
Yeah.
I respect that immensely. It's so much harder than anything I do. I consider it an honor to take care of him and to have met you.
Thank you.
I mean that.
Unless you hit close.
I'll see everybody.
When you're pregnant, it's all sort of a fallacy in your mind, and you're thinking about what it's going to be like, but you're not really sure or understand it until it happens. And then it's a huge, wow, welcome to the real world. This is what it's like.
Parenting is definitely hard. You have to stop and think to yourself, am I doing this right? Did I do the wrong thing? Or, you know, is it okay to do this?
There's one thing that we as humans don't deal with very well, and that's change. And having a kid is probably the biggest change you can go through.